Hello, hello. Am I audible? Am I audible? Okay.
Yes, Nikhil, you are audible.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. I hope you can see my screen. Can you see my shared screen?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Okay. Fine. Okay. So, good morning, everyone, and good morning to all of you. So, myself, Nikhil Chandran. I'm a research engineer at Kerala Blockchain Academy, and I'm here to present on the topic of start your career in Web3. So today we'll be having a discussion on how to start or get started with your career in Web3. So it's an informal session basically on what you can do to start get started on Web3 and on the basics of Web3 and blockchain. So myself, I am working as a research engineer at KBA under the Digital University of Kerala. So about KBA, Kerala Blockchain Academy, we are a research institute and a training institute under the Digital Institute of Kerala, Digital University of Kerala, located at Trivandrum, Kerala. And we are the first classroom training institute in blockchain technology. So we have trained over 25,000 plus students across 66 plus countries across the world. So this is we have basically two kinds of courses. One is on the self-paced course, that is you can learn at your own pace, and the other kind of course is the instructor-led program. So you can learn from the instructors directly. So before I get started, if you have any queries, you can just post it in the chat. So those who are live streaming and viewing on YouTube, you can just post it in the YouTube comment section. So, okay, so let's get started with this course and with this lecture. And so KBA has a lot of association with different organizations. So some of them are listed below. And we also are part of the government machinery. So we actually build projects for the government and we train various individuals under the government schemes such as the PMIJ programs. So that's the basic thing that I have to mention about Kerala Blockchain Academy. And next we will get into what is Web3 and what is the evolution of the web. So web 1 is what we call as the static web. So that's the classification. That's the classification that we give for the initial set of web that was launched in 1990s till maybe the early 2000s. So from the year 1990, when the early web started, the websites were static and read only. That means you could only consume the content that was available on the web. So such kind of content uh, was called as the Web 1 content, as we call it now, because after 2000s came the social web or the read-write web. So web content such as what we consume right now is called the social web or the read-write web, because this web content uh, we could both interact with the content as well as we can consume the content, because we can post content to the social media, we can consume content from the Wikipedia and so on. So basically it's kind of like an example of the current situation of the internet, as we call it. So social web is the read write web, where you can post content as well as you can consume the content. So from the static web, the evolution came to the social web, which was more dynamic in the sense you could interact with the web. Okay, there you have the current applications, like the current YouTube streaming applications, the current social media applications, the current e-commerce website, the current all the applications that we use in our daily lives, they are part of the social web. Next, what we explained today is about Web3. So Web3 is what we call the decentralized web, or the new internet as we call it. So this was enabled by the evolution of the web from the social web to the decentralized web. So that's a futuristic concept, or it's a currently under research concept, where we are considering the web as an extension towards decentralization. So the new internet will be kind of decentralized, and there we have the additional benefit of ownership. So the drawback of the social web was that the content was centralized in a few corporations. For example, the YouTubes or the Facebooks or the Amazons, they have their own web servers which host the data. So you don't own the data is owned by those large corporations. Hence, we say that the social web is more centralized, and the data is not currently, the data is not currently under the ownership of the user. But when we come to the Web3 or the new internet, we call it as the read, write, and also own the data. So the data there will be under the control of the user. So there we have more power as a user because it's decentralized, and under decentralized we have more trust and transparency as well as ownership of the data. So we own the data that is present in the Web3. So this is the evolution of the web from the initial read-only web or the static web to the social web, which we currently use, that is the read-write web, and to the Web3 or the new internet, which is the read, write, and own web. Okay, so this is the background for Web3, and from Web3, we expect to build applications which are decentralized, mostly by the help of a technology called blockchain. So we will get into what blockchain is and what is decentralization is next. Okay, so Web 1, Web 2, and Web 3 are is a classification that is generally done to distinguish between the different stages of the evolution of the internet or the World Wide Web, as we call it today. So next came centralized versus decentralization that we explained. So there we explain the concept of centralization with an example of a classroom. So in a classroom, we can expect that the teacher is going to teach a class. So we are making a parallel between a classroom and a network. So in a classroom, a teacher is going to teach a class and the students are all listening, and the teacher is kind of like a server and the students are kind of like a clients. So it's kind of like a client server model here, because now the teacher is under controlling the classroom and the students are all learning from the teacher or listening to the teacher. So the students are kind of like under the control of the server. So this is more kind of like a centralized system, because now that there is a single central entity, here we represent it as a teacher who is going to control that entire classroom. Similarly, this is same as a centralized network where we have a single central server or an entity which is going to control the network, and there are different clients which are going to be part of that network and under the control of the controlling authority. So that is called a centralized network when we have a controlling authority who is controlling that entire network. Similarly, in a decentralized network, we don't have a teacher. So suppose the teacher is absent, then there is no single controlling authority there. So you can expect chaos, like the students will be expected to do whatever they wish. But in a decentralized network, there is no chaos because there is a set of rules and conditions that are executed in the form of computing algorithms called consensus and networking principles. So these computing algorithms govern the decentralized network, and here code is what we call as law. So code is law means under the control of that governing mechanism, the entire network will function properly. So even in the absence of a centralized server or a centralized entity, like in the case of what we got a parallel between the teaching classroom, where there was a teacher as a centralized entity. Here we have a set of rules that are enforced programmatically by software code that are governing that classroom. So the students will be bound by some rules. Coming back to the classroom example, so they cannot do whatever they wish, contrary to what is shown in the figure. So the students will be expected to perform according to the rules that are specified in the algorithm, in the consensus algorithm that is governing the decentralized network. So that is the difference between a centralized network and a decentralized network. So going back to Web3, so the Web3 is expected to be a decentralized network, and this decentralization is brought to by the blockchain network or the blockchain systems. So centralized means a single central entity is going to control the network. Decentralized means there is no such participant, or there is no such central authority controlling the network. So that's the basic about centralized and decentralized. Now, coming back to Web3, the backbone of the Web3 is called the blockchain. So Web3 is not just the blockchain, but that's the enabler that is going to enable the decentralization. So what is blockchain, or why we need blockchain, and how does blockchain work? So we will not go into too much detail due to time constraint. So we can just get an idea of what is blockchain and why we need blockchain and how does blockchain work, and how does this all fit into the Web3 paradigm. So blockchain was initially introduced by Satoshi Nakamoto as a white paper in 2008 called Bitcoin, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. So who is Satoshi Nakamoto? Still it is unknown who is Satoshi. He was an anonymous entity, and the paper published was called a peer-to-peer electronic cash system in a pseudo-anonymous crypto forum called it was a crypto forum which published the white paper. So initially, a set of cryptographers were in knowledge about this, and from there, from 2008, the late 2008 came this white paper. Then in 2009, January 3rd, Satoshi launches Bitcoin, the main network. So a main network is kind of like a network which anyone can participate in, and they can trade and maybe do transactions in that network in an pseudo-anonymous fashion. So that main network, the Bitcoin network as you know it, was launched in 2009. So that was the initial stages of Bitcoin. And then Bitcoin got popular, and more and more people started using it. And one famous transaction which happened of value for Bitcoin was like Laszlo Hanier, who bought 2 pizzas for 10,000 Bitcoin. So as per the current price, into November 2023, it amounted to about 3,000 crore rupees, but maybe it doubled currently. So it might be around 5,000 crore right now. So at that time, this 10,000 Bitcoin was not worth that much. Maybe it was worth around $100. So that's why he bought 2 pizzas for this 10,000 Bitcoin. He sold 10,000 Bitcoin to get 2 pizzas. So that's a famous pizza transaction that took place in 2010. And later on in 2000, from that time onwards till today, till 2024, Bitcoin has grown exponentially as a cryptocurrency, as a network. It came mainstream in the media for financial markets and so on. So much that it is almost the second largest traded commodity in the world right now. So Bitcoin consumes an estimated 150 terawatt hours of electricity annually. That is more than the annual consumption of Netherlands. So right now, the Bitcoin's values for one Bitcoin is going to reach around $100K. So that's a huge amount if you convert it to dollar terms or rupee terms. So this shows the exponential growth of Bitcoin from 2010 to the current present date. And it shows that this much electricity being consumed for running that network means like a country like Netherlands, which has millions of people, how much electricity is being produced there or used there, that much electricity is being used by Bitcoin. So that's an interesting aspect of Bitcoin. Okay, so that's about Bitcoin. Am I audible? Can you just mention that I'm audible? Can you just, okay, if you have any queries, you can put it in the chat. Okay, okay, thank you. So that consumes an estimated 150 terawatt hours of electricity annually, and that's more than annual consumption of Netherlands. So all this shows the evolution of Bitcoin, but we are not going to talk about Bitcoin today. We are going to talk about Web3 and blockchain. So what's the I mean the powering mechanism behind Bitcoin? So what lies under the hood? So when you dig deeper into Bitcoin, you understand that blockchain technology is what is actually powering Bitcoin. So what is blockchain technology and how does it work? So that is what we are teaching at Kerala Blockchain Academy. So in different courses, we are teaching this thing, right? So what lies under the hood of Bitcoin? How does Bitcoin work? What is blockchain? So what is Ethereum? What is programmable blockchain? What are the private blockchains? These are the things that we teach at Kerala Blockchain Academy. So Bitcoin is powered by a blockchain network, right? So that blockchain network has some fundamental principles, and most blockchains follow these fundamental principles. So first, let us get into a brief description on the concept of pages, books, and ledger, right? So this is a parallel to the blockchain network. Okay, so we are considering a library. So this library have books. Maybe we are already considering one single book. Let that single book be kept by every member of that library. So we have a library where every person keeps a copy of the book. So this book has pages, and each page has hundreds of lines. So this is our library, and in our library we have a single book, and that book is being kept by every member of the library. And each book has multiple pages that are sequential, like page 1, page 2, page 3, and each page has multiple lines. So this is our initial premise. And coming to the blockchain parallel, in blockchain network, we have a block of transactions which is represented as a single page. That is a block of transactions. So each line represents transactions. There are hundreds of transactions in a block, and one block is sequentially linked to the other block cryptographically to form a chain. So that's through a cryptographic technique called hashing. So basically, a blockchain is or a block has many transactions, and each block is connected to the next block or the previous block through cryptographic chaining. And in this way, we have multiple blocks that are grouped together sequentially to form a ledger. So a ledger is something that stores a physical ledger can be an attendance record. It can be a bank statement ledger. So anything which stores a sequence of records of transactions is called a ledger. It can be a transaction, it can be some other ledgers. So attendance register can be a ledger. So here we have a digital ledger which is storing the transactions in the form of a block. So that's how we have a blockchain. So this is a ledger, and this ledger is continuously being added with more blocks, and that forms this ledger is kept by every member in the network, and these members are called as nodes. So every node keeps a copy of the blockchain ledger, and this same copy is being kept by every member. So a Bitcoin node or an Ethereum node will keep all the copy of all the transaction that ever took place from the beginning of Bitcoin till today. So that's called as a full node. So full node will keep all the copy of all the transactions. So once again, here when we consider a library, each page represents a block and each block has transactions and they are sequentially linked by cryptographic principles, and these blocks are grouped together to form a ledger, and this ledger copy is being kept by every node in the network, and that forms the blockchain with thousands of nodes. Here we are only showing four members, but these members represent the nodes, and they thousands of these members together they form the uh, blockchain network as a whole. So in a Bitcoin blockchain, you might find 1,000 members or maybe a 10,000 member Bitcoin current network. So in Ethereum also, you might find 5,000 to 10,000 nodes that are currently active. So these are the computers that are handling the blockchain operations, or they are handling the transaction. They are handling all the changes that are happening onto the blockchain network. So that's the basics of this how a block and a blockchain is getting formed. So this is the basics of a blockchain. So how can we define this chain? A blockchain is defined as a decentralized network. It is distributed and immutable ledger. So decentralized means what we learned, like a decentralized classroom where there is no central authority controlling the network. Distributed means there is no geographical restriction on where that blockchain network is present. It can be present all across the world. Immutable ledger means once you store something onto the ledger, then you cannot edit or remove it. So that's about the definition of blockchain. And why do we need a blockchain? Because it's an open ledger for recording any type of transaction data without a single owner. So this data is present without a single owner, and it's auditable publicly, and it's transparent because all the data from the first block to the latest block is publicly available. So it's an open ledger for recording any type of transaction data without a single owner. And this came in a document or a white paper that is published in 2008, as I mentioned before, and then launched the main network in 2009. So Bitcoin is the first blockchain, and from Bitcoin came the altcoins like Dogecoin, Shiba Inu coin, Litecoin. So many coins came. Then came the programmable blockchains like Ethereum. So programmability led to a lot of development in terms of decentralized application development in blockchain. And there lies the potential of Web3 in decentralized application development. So a few of blockchain application domains are like cryptocurrency, where what you can see this cryptocurrency application details in terms of the Bitcoin price and the Ethereum price and so on. So a lot of applications are there in terms of cryptocurrency. In terms of trade finance, how you can finance trade applications, how it can be further made simplified using using blockchain technology. In banking, for cross-border payments and for peer-to-peer transaction and so on, banking technologies can be used. Even interbank transactions, settlement between banks can be done through blockchain technologies. Then crowdfunding is like you fund your project using blockchain technology. Earlier it used to be like ICOs, now they are called as security tokens. So that's a way of how you can crowdfund your project using blockchain. Then in the insurance legal domain, you can have applications that are running on the blockchain to provide an immutable tamper-proof ledger, and that's an added benefit for these sectors. Then we have shared economies and real estate, where you can have asset tokenization in real estate to produce more value for that real estate entities. Then we have other applications like Internet of Things and supply chain, where you have like in Internet of Things, you can have devices which are running on blockchain, which are like IoT devices that are connected to a main blockchain network, sending in information. Like we have IOTA, which is an example of a blockchain that does that. Then supply chain, find a great deal of application, like in terms of IBM supply chain solutions, like in food supply chains, the shipping supply chains, and so on. And storage mechanisms are available, like decentralized storage mechanism like Storj, Filecoin, IPFS, etc. And healthcare solutions like providing a unique health card for all the for the people in a decentralized fashion are the other application domains in blockchain. So these are some of the few application domains, not the entire one, few application domains of blockchain, and how blockchain technology can be used and to enhance these existing domains. So we're talking about a situation where we can enhance the existing technology, like existing technology using blockchain. We are not talking about complete revamp of the technology. How you can find areas in these domains where you can add value to the existing technologies. So these are some of the areas where you can perform, or you can try to apply blockchain based use cases. So first, let us talk about what a token is. So a token is a concept came with the concept of Ethereum. And when Ethereum led to programmable blockchains, you could create your own currency by writing a few, maybe 6 functions in Ethereum. So that token was called as ERC20 tokens. It's called a fungible token, where one token is same as the other token. That means rupee and a dollar, 100 rupee note with me is same as 100 rupee note with you. We can exchange them. Still, we will be having the same value with us. So that's called as a fungible token. So ERC20 tokens led to the development of the ICOs, or initial coin offerings, and security tokens, and so on, or the entire concept of tokens. So the first token, as you all know, is in crypto space, is the Bitcoin that launched this revolution. So Bitcoin was the first cryptocurrency. It's a coin, and that was first launched in 2009. And in 2016 or 15 came Ethereum, which is the programmable blockchain. And from that programmable blockchain, you could create your own tokens. So your own token means you could build your own token using Ethereum blockchain on top of Ethereum blockchain. And these tokens are of different kinds, and there are different standards for building that tokens. Like there are ERC20 token standard for fungible tokens, ERC721 for non-fungible tokens, and ERC1155 for a hybrid fungible and non-fungible tokens. So there are many more token standards, but these are some of the basic token standards that are in use. So Ethereum led to the creation of these tokens and token standards. Then came stablecoin. Stablecoins came before that also, but they in the classification, let's consider them as a later concept. So stablecoins are like their value is being pegged to a fiat currency. A fiat currency is dollar and rupee are examples of fiat currency that are legally valid in a country. So dollar is legally valid in US, rupee is legally valid in India. So these are the legal currencies in both the countries like India and US. So this stable coin, the concept of stable coin is one stable coin, like this is USD Tether, this is DAI, and this is USDC. So these stable coins, the value of the stable coin is pegged, or it's dependent on the value of the US dollar, right? So the one stable coin is equal to $1 US. So that's the idea of a stable coin. So the crypto market is volatile, means the value changes. For the value of one crypto token will vary across the day. So stable coin, you can park your crypto safely for some time. If you think the market is going to be volatile, you can buy stable coins and keep it safe there, because the value won't change much, because it's dependent on the value of the fiat currency like a dollar. So these stable coins are dependent on the stability in value of the dollar, right? So the dollar value will be stable. So you are going to buy that crypto and keep it there safe. So that's the stable coin. Then we have security tokens, which came after initial coin offerings, or ICOs. So ICOs led to a huge revolution in terms of tokens when people started funding their projects with ICOs. But now they are being regulated by market regulators like Security Exchanges Commission. And security tokens are like, you have to build your security token according to the current regulation. and you have to have a security backing that token. So one security token should be backed by a security deposit in the organization that is going to launch that security token. So that's the security token. So that's kind of like a bridge between the traditional finance and crypto industry, because now these tokens, they represent a security asset, but still they are a crypto commodity. So that's the security token. Now, next came the NFTs, or the non-fungible tokens. So fungible token, one token is equal to another token. Non-fungible tokens, they represent unique assets. So one non-fungible token is not equal to another non-fungible token. They represent different assets. So non-fungible tokens examples are like the CryptoKitties. It's a game in Ethereum. So you can collect. You might have heard of collecting wrestling cards and cricket cards. Similarly, now you can collect digital cats in a game called CryptoKitties. So CryptoKitty, the cats are represented uniquely by a non-fungible token or NFT, and this non-fungible token represents that entity, that unique entity. So if you are an art creator, or you are trying to file an IP, then you can maybe use an NFT to uniquely represent that IP. So that's the example of NFTs. And we have other tokens like equity tokens, which are dependent on the equities, and utility tokens, which are kind of like maybe as dependent on the utility of the token. So these are the different kinds of tokens that are diversifying the ecosystem. And there are different, like you have gaming systems like Axie Infinity, you have then utility tokens and equity tokens, etc., that are being used. For example, we have a Brave browser. It has a basic attention token, and that token will be its value will be dependent. That when you use that browser, you will be getting that reward in forms of BAT tokens. So there are different ways in which you can use the tokens. So this is the basic evolution of the token. So from Bitcoin as a cryptocurrency, then came Ethereum, came the concept of tokens, and different kinds of tokens are like stable coins, security tokens, NFTs, equity, and utility tokens. Okay, so there are a lot different kinds of tokens that are existing, and if you take a exchange, then you can find maybe 10,000 tokens or coins that are listed there. So difference between coin and a token is like a coin is an independent entity which has its own blockchain network, and a token is built dependent on a coin based blockchain network or a system to exist. So a token can become a coin if it has an independent network and if it exists independently, and then you can become a coin like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all so on. Okay, so that's the evolution of the tokens. Then came the concept of decentralized finance. So according to Wikipedia, this is an experimental form of finance. So it does not depend on the intermediary. So here we are focusing on decentralizing the existing financial system, or taking the existing financial products to the blockchain network. So blockchain is decentralized. So if you take the decentralized finance, then it's not going to be dependent on intermediaries like banks or brokerages, and it uses the concept of smart contract on the blockchain. So using smart contracts, there are different ways in which decentralized finance works. Some of the examples of decentralized finance is like lending crypto using fiat currency, borrowing crypto using fiat, maybe lending and borrowing using fiat and cryptocurrencies. Then we have maybe yield farming and token swapping. A lot of things are there. So these are all examples of decentralized finance. And there are different platforms, like you have decentralized exchanges, for example, Uniswap, then SushiSwap. These are Compound, Aave. These are all exchanges, and some of them are decentralized, meaning they are working with the principle of automated market makers or AMMs. And there are different decentralized finance applications in different industries. So whatever financial applications that are being decentralized, they are under the umbrella of decentralized finance. So taking the existing market, like we have speculative trading, like options, decentralized options trading in decentralized finance. So everything that you do in the stock market, it is being decentralized in decentralized finance. So that's about the decentralized finance. It's a huge subdomain. So I'm just skimming the surface of that. Then we have non-fungible tokens, as I mentioned before. So it represents something which is the ownership transfer. It's a transferable token with a unique identifier where the ownership is being transferred across the blockchain domains. So the metadata associated with that unique, it's a token which represents something unique. For example, a painting that is drawn by a original artist. It's an NFT. So that NFT is simply something which is having a value. It's having a metadata, and that metadata could be a image that is describing an art form, and that represents some digital files or artwork, or it can even represent something like a ticket, maybe a ticket to a conference, or insurance or intellectual property IPs. So these metadata will describe that, and the NFT will be a unique identifier representing who is currently owning that particular metadata, who is particularly owning that particular art form or whatever asset that is being owned. So it's basically ownership transfer on the blockchain. So you basically own that asset, and you can prove your ownership on the blockchain. So that's the benefit of non-fungible tokens and NFTs, as you call it. So there are different exchanges like Rarible and OpenSea for exchanging non-fungible tokens. So NFTs, as you call it. Then another concept is decentralized autonomous organizations. So here, how the organization work is like a traditional organization has a pyramid structure where you have the CEO, then the high-level managers, middle-level managers, then the workers or the basic level workers at the low level, and the managers at the higher level, and the CEOs and the directors at the top level. So that's the pyramidal structure of a centralized organization. A decentralized autonomous organization is working on the principle of smart contract, on the principle of decentralization using smart contracts. So there we have the concept of ownership on every participant is actually a co-owning that organization, because you are getting reward for for participating in that organization. So it's a futuristic concept where blockchain is governing the organization, and they are working towards the mission of funding. Maybe different aims are there for that organization. Maybe it's an organization for funding a project, a blockchain project. Then that will be using it will be working using a smart contract based on that principle. So decision on how the votes are governed by each contributor are being governed by something called as a governance token. And you have transparent voting process where you can vote on these tokens and you get the rewards. So usually they have a treasury where you keep all the crypto that is going to be given as a reward. And if someone wants to access that crypto, they can give a request or a project submission and ask for funds. So this is the basic working of a decentralized autonomous organization. Let's see an example. So we have a DAO. Maybe this is a DAO for funding projects, and this DAO initially has a token holders. So for becoming a token holder, there are different criteria. For example, you might need to purchase some the tokens as NFTs or something. You have to purchase NFTs to become a token holder, or maybe you have to earn something. You might have to contribute to that ecosystem to become a token holder, and so on. So you become you govern that system, and then that DAO that controls the treasury. The treasury has all the crypto that is stored, and that is being governed by the DAO. So a voting takes place on whom to give that money from the treasury, whom to fund. So this is done automatically through smart contracts, that treasury governing part, and also the token holder governing part. That you can write a governance contract for that. Then projects, they request the funding to the DAO. the token holders vote on that, whether to give the fund or not. The DAO, if the project is accepted, there are different criteria, different thresholds, maybe a simple majority or maybe more than that is required maybe for getting the fund. And they vote on this, they vote on whether to give the fund to the project, and that is also being governed automatically by a smart contract, and that fund is being given to the project. Then fund is released by the treasury once it is accepted. There are different criteria for that you can set in the smart contract. What should be the criteria? Okay, so that's about a DAO which is there to fund the project. So there are different DAOs, like you have Aragon to create DAOs. The Dash is another one. Then this is maybe an example of Nouns DAO, Nouns. That's a DAO that is there. You can purchase the Nouns DAO. You can purchase the NFT to become part of this token holder, and then you can vote on who to fund the project. So that's an example. And there are Web3 applications in different streams, different domains. For example, in the browser domains, we have a Brave browser. So the Brave browser is a privacy preserving browser where you can browse ad free. There will be no ads even in YouTube. So it's privacy focused on that. And there's a token called BAT token, basic attention token, which when you use the Brave browser, you can get that BAT token as reward. Okay, that's the Brave browser. Then we have Session, which is a anonymous or decentralized messaging platform. So each session will be initialized anonymously, so you can chat anonymously. You don't need to reveal your details, phone number or anything. You can chat anonymously using Session. That's Session. We have Presearch, which is a decentralized search engine where it's working in a decentralized manner. So you can search for things decentralized. That's the benefit of Presearch. Then Mastodon is a social network similar to maybe Twitter or Reddit or a mix of all those. And you can basically post content decentralized and you own it. You are not posting the content to a server. You are posting it to a decentralized network. So it's decentralized and open source social network for that. That's about Mastodon. Then we have CryptoKitties, which I mentioned before. It's a game where you can collect digital cats on the blockchain and you can trade that for money. You can earn money using CryptoKitty token, and that's the benefit of this game. Then we have Sweatcoin, which you can earn rewards by walking. So it's kind of like a health application which promotes healthy living by if you walk, you can get that Sweatcoin as reward and so on. So that's the benefit of Sweatcoin. So these are some of the few Web3 applications. There are thousands of other applications, but to list a few, these are some of the few applications that are currently active in Web3. So we discussed how Web1 came to Web2. Web1 is a read-only web to the Web2 to the read-write web to the decentralized web. We saw how blockchain technology enables decentralization. We saw the example of Bitcoin and how it came about, and then what is a block and a blockchain. Next, we discussed about the applications of Web3 and what are the different kinds of applications for blockchain and Web3. Now, what are the uses of Web3? So Web3 is kind of like a platform which is decentralized by blockchain, and it works in decentralized fashion. There are reduced intermediaries because now blockchain provides that direct interaction between the users, between the computers in the network. There is a peer-to-peer network that is governing the system. So you don't need a third party to provide you that access. You can directly communicate with the other users in the network, and you can directly interact with them. You can directly trade with them. So that's the benefit of decentralization and reduced intermediary. Then we have proof of ownership on the blockchain. Now, proof of ownership means like you can prove the existence of something. For example, you can prove that you own an NFT on the blockchain, right? And that's an example of a proof of ownership. Then you have trust, more trust in an anonymous setting, because anonymous transactions require a trust because you don't know who you're transacting with. Are you transacting with a hacker or are you transacting with a normal user? You don't know in an anonymous setting. So Web3 projects or Web3 applications enable that trust through decentralization and blockchain technologies. So this is the benefit of using Web3, and the benefits of Web3 are being explored, and more benefits are being used. For example, we have zero knowledge proofs, which are a new benefit that enables transacting in a trustless manner. Trustless means you don't trust anyone, right? You don't need to trust anyone. You don't need a third party to give you that trust. So you can transact in a trustless fashion using zero knowledge proofs. So that's another example of how Web3 can benefit in the future. Okay, so that's about Web3 and blockchain. Now, what you can do, what is the opportunity for you guys to join this technology, right? So initially, a technology, when it initially gets triggered, it leads to a lot of hype. So blockchain, when it was launched, it led to a lot of hype, but that hype has died down, maybe for the blockchain, but the crypto, I don't know, it goes up and comes down, goes up and comes down. A bull market, hype goes up, bear market, hypes go down. So it's different for crypto. I'm talking about blockchain, right? The blockchain, the decentralized application development. So in blockchain, more than 50% of the global organizations, they view blockchain as a strategic priority. So global spending on blockchain, like it is expected to reach so many billions in the next in this year, and maybe it will double in next year. So there are thousands of blockchain startups that are listed, and US alone accounts for more than 50% of all the blockchain investments. And we are expecting a blockchain friendly environment in the coming future also. So blockchain is being considered as a technology for the future, and more and more companies and governments are taking note, and they are interested in having blockchain technology adoption. So according to the blockchain economic impact studies by PwC, global blockchain impact is expected to increase by 4 to 5 times in the next 5 years. Like China, US, Germany, and India are going to contribute a lot to this blockchain impact. And in the next 5 years, it's expected to increase 4 to 5 times the spending on blockchain technology. And some of the major areas of economic impact is like identity and credentials, then provenance and traceability, that is tracing the origin of goods, identity of or digital identities, then payment systems, dispute resolution, and rewarding mechanisms. So these are some of the areas where blockchain is expected to make a lot of impact by in the next 5 years. So what are the career opportunities in blockchain? So we have a lot of career opportunities in blockchain for the skilled people. So if you are skilled in blockchain, like in smart contract development, if you know decentralized application development, and you know how a blockchain works, then you can have a lot of opportunities in blockchain development area. If you are interested in crypto and token economics, you can go for token economics design and financial analysis, that kind of job. Then this is kind of a job for those who are interested in crypto, like in a trading perspective, how you can design a token economic system and crypto system based on that. Then we have decentralized finance systems, where you can develop and manage and analyze existing systems, where there are DeFi protocols, as I mentioned, like different decentralized exchanges and different protocols exist. If you can analyze, develop, and manage the systems properly, then you can contribute to the system. So that's a huge opportunity, because blockchain jobs generally pay better than Web2 jobs, or Web3 jobs generally pay better than Web2 jobs, generally speaking. So another opportunities is in NFTs, or non-fungible tokens. So you can create and market and manage these applications. You can build NFT listing sites. You can sell NFTs, buy NFTs, and so on. So that's also a career opportunity. Like you have to you manage the creation, marketing, and management of NFT. And a non-technical job is like Web3 marketing and community management, where you can manage the online community. You can do perform social media and content creation for Web3 projects. So it's community management job where you manage the online community. You have to have a basic knowledge of the technology of maybe the social media. You need to handle the social media for that. You need to manage the community. You need to grow the community. So these are the jobs which require Web3 marketing and community management. So blockchain development, crypto, DeFi, NFT, and community management are some of the domains where you can obtain this uh, opportunities in Web3. Then there are job opportunities as a blockchain, different career perspectives, career opportunities. Like a blockchain developer is someone who develops smart contract based decentralized application or smart contracts based blockchain applications. That's called as a blockchain developer. Then blockchain analyst is someone who analyzes the blockchain network and finds data analysis or maybe blockchain analysis stuff on the blocks and so on. So they those kinds of analysts are called a blockchain analyst. Then blockchain architects are someone who design blockchain networks. They build the blockchain networks, blockchain applications. They they are architect the application as a whole. So those are the blockchain architects. And blockchain quality engineers, they test the smart contracts because smart contract testing is very important. So quality engineers, they ensure that the smart contracts are bug free. Excuse me. So that's the blockchain quality engineers. And blockchain consultants, they give advices to companies on what projects, where to integrate blockchain with their existing systems, and they advise companies on how to build a blockchain system and so on. So those are the blockchain consultants. Then research and development in opportunities in blockchain. As I mentioned, there are various ways in you can contribute to that, like in researching new DeFi protocols or researching new crypto paradigms for blockchains, and maybe integrating zero knowledge proofs and so on. And there are a lot of opportunities for research and development in blockchain, especially Ethereum blockchain. Then lastly, a non-technical one is community manager, where you can manage the community. You can interact, you can provide an interactive space for them where you can grow the community so that your blockchain project does not exist in isolation. So you grow your community using a community management job. So these are some of the jobs, and many more such jobs are there, like maybe a blockchain developer, maybe smart contract developers jobs, and so on. And so there are many different kinds of jobs that are available. So how can KBA help, right? So we come to the final chapter on how we at KBA can help you join the Web3 development. So we have, as I mentioned before, we have two kinds of we have two kinds of courses. The first course is self-paced course, and the second type is instructor-led course. The self-paced course are like you can learn at your own pace. You'll be having text content as well as video content. The technical content will be provided to you, and you have lifetime access to that. So you can access the content and you can learn at your own pace. That's the self-paced course. You have instructor-led course, which will be a limited time instructor-driven course where you can learn from the instructors and understand the basics or the concepts directly from the instructors. So these are the two types of courses that are being offered by Kerala Blockchain Academy. And the roadmap, I'm just listing according to some of the types of courses. So basics of blockchain, you can access these courses for free. So we have Blockchain Foundation Program, which is a free course. You can access that for free. Then we have Ethereum Fundamentals and Hyperledger Fabric Fundamentals, which are the courses that you can start learning the blockchain concepts of Bitcoin and Ethereum blockchain. So only the fundamental part, not too much depth. So a beginner can first learn the blockchain foundation, then go to the Ethereum fundamentals and Hyperledger Fabric fundamentals. Also learn the Corda fundamentals. So you can learn the concept of public blockchains and concept of private distributed ledgers in that form. So in this way, you can understand the basics concepts of blockchain. So personally, I will say if you don't know anything about blockchain, start with BFP. then move on to the other courses. So these are the basic courses on blockchain. Next, we have the non-programming courses. So non-programming means it's not non-technical, it's non-programming. So you don't need programming background to learn these courses. So dive into some of the details of blockchain, like certified blockchain associates and certified Web3 associate and certified blockchain startup program. So we have a certified blockchain associate, which is kind of like the upgraded version of blockchain, this blockchain foundation program. And so that certified blockchain associate program will give you more details on the workings of blockchain, the theoretical aspects, the practical aspects on private and public blockchains, and so on. So that's a course that you can launch, join for that. Then we have the certified Web3 associate program, which is an associate program on Web3 technologies. So you can learn the current state of the art in Web3 and what are the techniques that are used in Web3 and so on. Also, we have a startup program. If you are interested in startups and you want to build a startup on Web3, then you can go for the certified blockchain startup program. So these are the non-programming courses that we are offering. So next, we have the blockchain developer courses. So this, you can start learning the development. So developer essentials for blockchain is kind of like a prerequisite course where you can learn the basics of web development that is required for blockchain. And from there you learn an essence. It's an intermediate course where you learn the essence of web development. You can refresh your knowledge on web development, and that's developer essentials for blockchain. Then you can learn certified Ethereum developer, which is a blockchain development course where you write smart contract based decentralized applications in Ethereum. Then you have certified Hyperledger Fabric developer and certified blockchain architect program. So Hyperledger, if you finish these two developer courses, you will get 2 months internship, and with that you can complete certified blockchain architect program. So these are the basic or the three kinds of courses that we offer: the basics course, the non-programming courses, and the blockchain developer courses. Now, what are the benefits of joining the course? Like, if you have a chance of securing scholarship for attending the courses if you are a member of our innovation uh, innovation club, KBIC. So Kerala Blockchain Academy Innovation Club. If you are a member of that, you can have a chance to secure the scholarship for attending the courses, and we provide internship with scholarship for selected candidates, and this is being funded by the academic grant program. So you can receive guidance and support in project development in blockchain in the rapidly evolving space of Web3, and you have opportunities for student project funding from a prize pool. You have opportunity to secure paid internship. We'll provide assistance to get to paid internship and placements. We will provide that assistance. So these are the benefits and outcomes. So we have the KBIC, which is a Kerala Blockchain Academy Innovation Club. So if you join that, you can benefit from all this. So we have a blockchain internship program. It's a 2 to 3 month program where we will it's a hybrid mode program. We will be, it's a flexible program where you can learn offline and online. So there you will be having a chance to get guidance, mentorship, and internship opportunities, and you'll be supported by this academic grant program. So these are the benefits of joining our courses, and some scholarships will be available on selected basis. So that's all I want to mention today. So this is my session. Um, so thank you for listening in and patiently listening to what I have to say on Web3. If you have any queries, you may ask. You can just unmute and ask, or just post it in the chat. All right. So as I mentioned, so we learned, let me recap just what we just learned in this session. So you can join the Web3 program. So Web3 is a technology which is an evolution of the web from Web 1 to Web 2 to the decentralized Web3, where blockchain technology is providing the decentralization. So Kerala Blockchain Academy provides courses for you to learn this technology. As a member of the Innovation Club, you can get scholarship and you can be part of this ecosystem. You can build your career on Web3 if you're interested in a career in Web3. And the benefit of such a certification and such a mentorship is that it provides an a advantage for entry level into the blockchain ecosystem. So onto the blockchain or onto the Web3 ecosystem. So you can just join and you can just join our courses. And this session is about the opportunities that we mentioned in Web3 and blockchain area. Okay, so is it free or paid is a question. Okay, so it's dependent. It's a paid course, but for KBIC members, we are providing scholarship. So if you, we will be providing the details in the next a few days or few weeks time. We'll be announcing different courses and different internship program. So there we'll be listing the conditions for scholarship and other things. So you'll be having an opportunity for getting the course at a scholarship rate. Okay, another question is how can someone after graduation earn a job in KBA? Okay, so I mean, not earn a job in KBA, earn a job in Web3, right? So you can actually after graduation you can learn all these technologies like our follow our courses. We have these courses that are listed, the basic courses. So first important thing is to learn the basics of blockchain, and from the basics of blockchain next learn the blockchain development part. So learn what is blockchain development basics, like you can learn the public blockchains like Ethereum or Polygon or anything like that. Next, go to the private blockchains. So you can learn the private technologies like Hyperledger technologies. Now it's called Linux Foundation, Left Decentralized Trust. It's renamed. So you can learn Fabric. Hyperledger Fabric is a course that we offer. So now, if you learn both, like you have the knowledge on both public and private blockchain, so that will enable you to have more chance of having a placement in a Web3 technology. Okay, so that's a way to go about learning blockchain and Web3. Yeah. So any other questions? The yeah, this course is not requiring any Web3. Sorry, any degree. Currently, I'm a +2 student, so you can also enroll for the courses. Different internship have different criteria. So some internship, I don't think you require a degree, but some require a degree. Like we have the excellency program, which requires a degree. So other internships you might you can access without the need for a degree. So you can also join our courses. You can learn our courses. We have school students who are in the past also. We had school students. Right? Salary scale in blockchain. Yeah. So salary scale in the US, it's kind of like above $100K average. But in India, I mean, it is slightly above the normal Web 2 salary scale for web developers. So it's above the normal web development salary. Okay, so I think that's all from your side. So are we done with the questions? So we can wind up the session. So thank you so much for joining in. Thank you so much for the YouTube viewers also. And thanks for listening in. And hope you join your courses and start your journey for Web3. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.